And we're about to run out of time, because I like to keep these broadcasts short, sweet, and to the point. So with that in mind, let's talk about Walter, or the man formerly known as Walter, who is now known as Gunther. And again, just like earlier in the show, not a fan of the name change. It's not a really intimidating name. Excuse me. It's not. Walter was much more imposing. And you know the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But WWE has their own way of doing things. They have their own way of doing business. And that's just how they roll. Fans went crazy on social media. They started this whole idea that WWE does not know what they are doing, and for a minute there, it was touch and go, because it seemed that they were going to name him after a Nazi figure of the past. Wisely, WWE held back from that, but other than that, it is just a name. It's a name change. Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Don't believe me? 2008. You know who WWE introduced us to? Mr. Ziggler himself, Dolph Ziggler. Some would consider that a silly name. Hasn't stopped him from becoming a two-time world champion, a multi-time tag team champion, a multi-time intercontinental champion, multi-time United States champion. He's one hell of a performer, and he's had a great career. Want to look outside the wrestling world? You got names like Arnold and Sylvester, which aren't the best names possible for any kind of manly man out there. And you know what? Why don't you walk up to Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone and tell them that? You wouldn't, because it's not the name that matters. It's who you are and what you do that gives you exactly what you want and all the results you'll ever need. So with that said, wrestling fans, yes, Walter is better than Gunther. I agree with you on that. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter.